Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition. Now, here's your host, Reggie Flood.
Rocking and rolling bright and early Saturday morning. Perry White, my man Reggie Flood, will join me here in a second. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Oh, man, how's everybody feeling this morning? We getting it going. It's the Jaguar Journal. A lot to talk about today. Gonna get into some basketball. SWAC Basketball wrapping up this weekend. Some games played last weekend. As a matter of fact, game played just the other night. Baseball in full swing as well as softball. Plethora of things going on. And y'all call in. 225-499-1073 is the number. 225-499-1073 is the number. Give a shout out to my man, Reggie Flood, because he about to come on. But shout out to, of course, CJ always holding it down for us. My man Chris, want to give a shout out to my man Thomas White with Mogul Threads, always coming through, looking out. My man Keith Bennett, always calling and motivating, and he calls me, he said, man, you the next Stephen A. Smith. Now, I don't know. I don't know, but, shout out to those fellas, man, with all the continued support that they give this show and everybody else that gets up every morning on a Saturday to listen to us. I know it's not easy because it's hard to get it going early on a Saturday morning. Am I right, Mike? If y'all can only see Mike right now, he's shaking his head. Yeah, Saturday mornings is rough just to get up and get this to you guys, man. But I appreciate you guys for coming through for us each and every Saturday, bright and early. We got my man on the line. Flood, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You up and at 'em, as the old folks say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Let's do this. Do we need to stay on, Mike? We need to stay on track? All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, me and my man Reggie Flood going to dive right into it, all right? Stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
Hey y'all, Outdoorsman Don Dubuque here. Join me and go hog wild. Landowners, farmers, and hunters know each year feral hogs cause $76 million in damage to agriculture and wildlife in Louisiana. Hunters for the Hungry ask hunters to control the population and feed the hungry by bringing hogs to processors who deliver the meat to the needy. And Hunters for the Hungry will cover your cost. Find a participating processor near you at Hunters for the Hungry or visit their site, h4hla.org. That's h4hla.org, and go hog wild.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
You are missing teeth. Have you put off having your teeth fixed because you suffer from anxiety or you're concerned about having to visit multiple offices? At Fusion Dental Implant Center, we can handle your entire treatment under one roof, making dental implants convenient and pain-free while you're asleep in our state-of-the-art facility. Visit Fusion Dental Implant Center and let us customize a plan for your needs. Enjoy your life again. Call 225-452-5333, 5333 today for your consultation.
Pipe and Steel Industrial has been growing locally in Denham Springs for 22 years because of their commitment to safety, quality, and consistency. Whether it's emergency fabrication or material procurement in a time crunch, their 24-hour fabrication shops support their specialty welding and turnaround work. Pipe and Steel Industrial is truly a one-stop shop. Kylie Sparks, Leon Batto, and his team take pride in serving Louisiana from their world-class facility and invite anyone to take a tour at pipeandsteelindustrial.com.
LWCC is Louisiana Loyal. It's more than a tagline. It's a movement to celebrate and elevate Louisiana. We do this by supporting 20,000 Louisiana businesses and their workers and launching innovative new initiatives. But we cannot do this work alone. We hope you would join us in celebrating our great state and elevating Louisiana's position in America. Together, we can be Louisiana Loyal. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Loyal.
Farron Fabry Bolton of Infinity of Baton Rouge joins me to talk about the Infinity QX80.
The 2023 QX80 has plenty of room to grow in with seating up to 8. It has a crazy comfortable ride. It has the power of a full-size vehicle. With the tuning of a sports car, it drives like an absolute dream. And it also comes with a 3-year free maintenance. And starting now, we have rates as low as 2.9% for 36 months.
The Infinity QX80 now showing at Infinity of Baton Rouge, Airline Highway south of Seguin, or online at infinityofbr.com.
Talk 107.3 FM.
All right, we're back. The Jaguar Journal. Man. He's Reggie Flood. I'm Perry White.
Sir.
It is the first of the month, isn't it?
It is the first of the month. You can tell it when you go in the stores.
Flood, I got a question for you real quick because I didn't know what to do with them. What I'm supposed to do with the coconuts from the Zulu parade?
So, put them on the shelf or, or throw them away.
Just looking at me, and I'm just like, all right, what am I supposed to do with these things? Is it something in particular that I'm supposed to do or use them as, or what? I didn't know. So I figured, I knew you would know. You've had plenty of coconuts in your day. So I didn't know what to do with them.
Decoration, maybe you can pass them on to somebody. Not much to do with them.
Come in the house.
Ain't can do much. They kind of light without that. Do know but make them mad.
This week.
Oh man, I was been a good week. It was out of town most of the week in Houston. Most of the week got back and kind of got back in the routine and went last night and happened to be there. Watch Big Pokey go falling off the stage again. And
he came up and
well, I don't know if he. I mean, I'm not gonna cast aspersions. I just know this is the second time I've seen him fall off stage. So, I mean, it was actually a pretty good show. The show was excellent. I mean, you know, everybody else came on, you know, King George and Tucker and Ronnie Bell and O.B. Buchanan. Everybody came on and did a good show. Even brought out Jubilee and Partners in Crime. So they did a good show. He was the closer, and he came out and everything was going pretty good. Then next thing you knew, he started staggering and was talking, and he tried to lean over and fell head first off the front of the stage.
Should I laugh or not? Because it's kind of funny.
I mean, I tell you, it's according to how, I saw it coming. Like, I could see him staggering on the stage. So I was like, he about to fall again.
Did you laugh?
But I didn't laugh, and I think it's probably because I know him.
Okay.
Like, I've known him for a while, and I just think it's kind of, if I didn't know him, I probably would have laughed. But being that I know him, it's tragic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're watching somebody fall apart.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You're watching them slowly fall apart.
Did they shut the show down once he fell off the stage? Was it over?
Well, he was the final act, and he only had he was just about to do side piece.
Y'all didn't get side piece?
Yeah, he did. He did it. He did the song.
He got back up and kept it going.
He got back up, and his bodyguard asked his security dude how to F y'all let me fall off the stage.
And now he mad at everybody else.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Sound like he need a harness on from now on. Anytime he get on stage, when he get ready to tip over, just yank him back up in the air.
Yeah, well, it was one of the moments like you could see him. I guess from where I was standing, I could see him you know how when people are inebriated, whatever they own, that they, you know, you could see him wobbling but I don't think anybody expected him to try to lean over the front of the stage because it just happened all of a sudden because I was fully expecting him to pass out, just fall on the stage. And then he was still talking on the mic, and all of a sudden he leaned out and went head first over the speakers and onto the floor. But he got up and did side piece, and I guess his most loyal of fans, you know, stayed there with him. But at that point, when he went over the stage, everybody was like, "Okay, that's it. We've had enough."
Started headed for the doors.
Yeah, they are headed for the door. People are headed for the doors anyway. But
does Tucker still have that flair? Because I'm telling you something. I didn't know who Tucker was really like that until I came here. In the year that we played Northwestern State, I rode the bus with the quarterback club. And shout out to my man, Ed Lewis, Mr. Ed. And we riding the bus, and, you know, they playing the blues and playing different music. And I just know when Tucker came on, every day was like, he was on the bus performing. They loved him so much. So I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, why in the hell are they screaming like he's literally on the bus performing? Like his music was that impactful.
Don't nobody get old lady love, old black lady love like Tucker.
He get the bloomers from.
Don't nobody love. Don't no old black lady love. Don't nobody love Tucker more than some older black women. They love some Tucker, and Tucker. It gives a nice performance. He gives a nice concert. So a nice show, I should say. So he definitely still does it. But nobody love him like some middle-aged and older black women. They love some Tucker.
You know who else has an impact like that? And I went to his concert and one of my partners, and I didn't realize it, Calvin Richardson. Have you ever seen Calvin Richardson?
I've seen him a bunch of times. I thought he was going to be there last night, but he wasn't on the show last night. But yeah, and then, you know, Calvin had that one hit, and they be waiting for that, man.
You know,
they be waiting for Calvin. I can't walk around without you.
Hey.
Like my legs.
Hey. I went to a concert of Calvin in Arkansas, man, and it was He put on a good show. Real dapper dude, man. He did a good job, but Tucker, I haven't seen him in concert, but by the reaction, I can only imagine in concert how it goes. If they acting like that on the bus, and that's just the audio, I can only imagine in person. Are they throwing stuff on the stage, Eddie?
Nah, they don't throw stuff on the stage. They definitely,
Yeah.
They definitely are about it. They definitely love it.
They
love
sweating a little
years.
bit everywhere.
It's 20 years. 20 years, and he's still doing his thing.
You say probably did the best last night in terms of performance.
Well, King George was there last night, so that train just kept on rolling.
You can't go.
Yeah, King George. This dude is a performer. I didn't realize how young he was, man. He only like 25, 26 years old. Yep.
You just blew my mind, and probably some other. I thought King George. I really don't know these days in terms of, because I don't even know how old is Tucker.
Tucker got to be in his 40s, maybe 50s.
And Big Pokey, is he kind of like up there?
Pokey in his 50s. He definitely in his 50s. We're in the same age group.
Pokey, you too old to be acting like that on stage. All right, you too old for that.
Yeah.
Now, King is the young brother. Right?
Nah, King George is young and disciplined. He have his stuff together. I observed that last night. I'd observed it before, but I looked at his just the way he carried himself, the way his people, the way they took the stage, they were uniform. I mean, it was simple, but his band was dressed nice. His background singers were dressed nice. It was uniform. His show was tight. He got in, got out, did his thing.
But they say he about it business. Not his business, he about it business.
Yeah, he's definitely about his business.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the first thing is I started, as you do in life these days. You wake up, grab your phone, and jump on social media. And that's what I did. And the first thing I saw was a still shot of Pokey with his feet directly in the air, his head going to the ground, and it was a bodyguard sitting there with the straightest face in the world with Pokey's face right in his chest.
Yeah, if he probably, I'm going to tell you the truth. He probably would have been seriously injured had that guy not been sitting there.
Being the city,
he broke his fall,
Oh, man. And that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to see the pictures out there somewhere. But then I saw
I have the picture.
Man.
The picture and the video.
It was the incident. Sometimes it happens. But then, like you said, I started to watch it, and I saw how I was leading up to it. I saw, his actions, and I said, yeah, he on one today. He was on one. I didn't know that was here in Louisiana, though. Oh, man. Besides that eventful evening, how's your week been, man?
It's been a good week, man. It's been a good week. Just handling business, getting things together, it's been a good week, man.
Weather's been nice. You can't ask for any better weather as you transition from February into March. And spring has already jumped up on us. You're talking about near 90 degrees, man. This is the time of year I love. But for those allergy people like myself, I'm pretty sure you're probably over it now. All that hawking and sneezing and draining. I pop those Claritins like they jiggers every day, Flood.
Yeah. I have issues with my sinuses, too, but I would pop the Claritin or two, but not many, but I try to stay away from it. But, yeah, I have issues with mine draining and my eyes burning and stuff. And so, yeah, but I definitely feel you on that. And it is, it came early, but the weather has been beautiful. But, man, I tell you, it has been a struggle for the past few weeks.
It definitely has, man. Let's get ready to take a break. We're going to jump into some sports. Enough of that big pokey talk. We gave y'all enough to go look up on social media, all right? So now we're going to come back and we're going to keep it going. So it's more of the Jaguar Journal.
Jaguar Journal. Right early on this Saturday morning, I'm Perry Whitey's Reggie Flood.
Yes, sir.
It's baseball season, Flood.
Yes, it is.
The Jaguars last week, of course, we did the show. They fell down in New Orleans in the Andre Dawson Classic on Friday, Saturday, but on Sunday picked up a victory. On Friday, they lost to Florida A&M 12-6, 5-7 to Alabama State, but a big victory 9-7 against Alabama A&M, and then came home. Took on McNeese State on Wednesday, 10-3, winning McNeese State's favor, and then yesterday taking on the University of Iowa over in Mobile for the South Alabama Invitational, falling short. It was a good game for the most part early on, but Iowa putting up 20 runs on the Jaguars, walking away 20-8 in that ball game. Today they take on Pepperdine at 12 o'clock today over in Mobile for the South Alabama Invitational. Flood right now, the Jags 4-4. Started out hot to start the season. Of course, beating Jackson State, Grambling, and Texas Southern over in the Cactus Jack HBCU Classic in Houston. And then since then, they kind of went through a slump, 1-5 in their last 6 games, Flood.
Yeah. They, I don't know if it's that they've been, doing some things, experimenting with the pitching. I don't know if it's injuries, could be a combination of both. But they seem to have a pretty good team. They just haven't been able to get it together on a consistent basis early. Hopefully, that's something that they can get out of their system and get behind them as the season goes on. Because before you know it, they'll be in conference. From what I hear, I haven't seen them play yet. I saw them play a little bit on TV. From what I hear, they have a pretty good team. They seem, they haven't gotten a timely hitting down. They've been leaving a lot of base runners. I think I saw one game they left 18 base runners on. Hopefully they get it together. But this traditionally, they've started out. They actually started out this season better than they have in the past 2 or 3. And they've come on late and been able to get in the tournament and be
We lost Flood. There we go. We're getting back. Jaguars taking on the Jaguars tomorrow. South Alabama, of course, to the Jaguars. Southern taking them on tomorrow. That game, for anybody that wants to watch it, to be on ESPN Plus, 3 o'clock first pitch tomorrow on Sunday, March the 5th. Southern taking on the University of South Alabama over in the South Alabama Invitational in Mobile. And then the Jags will go on the road for pretty much the entire month of March. They'll be at UNO down in New Orleans on Wednesday, March the 8th. Incarnate Word for a 3-game series, March 10th, 11th, and 12th in San Antonio. For any of the Jaguar fans that's in San Antonio, want to go out and support baseball. And then North Louisiana for a 3-game series, of course, with Grambling State, March the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then going over to the University of Houston in Houston, Texas, March the 22nd on Wednesday, March the 22nd. That game will be on ESPN Plus, a 6:30 first pitch against Houston. Before they go over after that, they'll stay into the Houston area and then take on Texas Southern, the team who they beat in the Cactus Jack Invitational over in Houston earlier this year. They'll be March the 24th, March the 25th, and the 26th against Texas Southern. And then they'll round out the month of March, ending it on the road in Lake Charles against McNeese State on March the 28th. That'll be a Tuesday night game, 6 p.m. First pitch before they return home March the 31st, April 1st, and April 2nd against Alcorn State. So the Jags on the road the entire month of March. That doesn't make it any easier for them, as right now they're struggling over in Mobile, taking on Pepperdine today at 12, South Alabama tomorrow at 3 p.m. Of course, like I said before, that game will be televised ESPN Plus for any of the Jaguars or just baseball supporters that want to watch 2 Jaguar teams, South Alabama Jaguars versus the Southern University Jaguars. Flood.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It should be hopefully an interesting game, man. I tell you, the baseball program. It's frustrating to me is that, like, you look at them and you like, okay, they can compete with anybody. It's almost like, have you ever seen the movie Brewster's Million?
Mm-hmm.
I can beat
Richard Pryor,
anybody
right?
for 3. Yes, right. I can beat anybody for 3 innings. Remember at the end, he puts on the big game versus the Yankees because Richard Pryor was a minor league pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And he could beat anybody if he could stop anybody for 3 innings. The Yankees. And that's kind of what this baseball, our baseball team seems to be like sometimes. They can play with anybody for 3 innings. But but you just feel like you feel like they could really be on the cusp of something nice, something big, but they don't see it that way. And I know it's a marathon and not a sprint. I get it. It is. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But sometimes when you're trying to move your program to a new level, sometimes you got to go out and get games that you might want to, you might not want to play. You might not want to go as deep into your bullpen, or you might not want to get guys some time. Sometimes when you're a smaller program, you gotta go get those games.
Yep. Do we normally see that? Is the fact that you mentioned that, saying you got to go get that, because we put a lot of emphasis once we get to conference play, those weekend series, especially in baseball. But, maybe in basketball, the same, in football, that effort against non-conference.
This is something that I have. Now, this is a complaint that I have. I feel like we have cultivated a culture in our athletic department where we feel like, SWAC games only matter. Only conference games matter. Mm-hmm. And I think we've developed that culture from the top to the bottom of our coaching staff and our athletic program.
Because, it's funny you say that, because I don't feel that way when I watch MEAC sports. Like when and this may be controversial, I don't know. But when I watch MEAC in non-conference, no matter, it just feels like the goal is to go out and win that game. They don't care if it's a MEAC opponent or not. For SWAC, it feels like, we're just waiting on the conference. That's all. It was
I don't feel like that about all of the SWAC.
Give me an example.
Plays like that. I feel like when Alcorn goes out of conference, and they shown it in basketball, when they go out of conference, they go play to win. When Grambling goes out of conference, they go play to win. Sometimes they're not capable of it, and that's where I fought Southern. Like, that's why I and it may be at other schools, but when I watch other schools, I don't think that they are not giving. I won't say they're not giving full effort. I just think that at some other schools, they might not be capable of doing those things.
Yeah. It's the holding back for you. Just seem like you're holding back.
It's the holding back. Like, those teams don't pull their players. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't pull their players and pull their bullpen and play their bench in games. Like, they go to win those games. They may not be capable of doing it, but they go to win. You see the same thing in the MEAC. The MEAC, sometimes they're not capable of winning those games, but they go to play to win. Sometimes I feel like in Southern in particular, we don't go in with the attitude that we are here to win games. And I think that's pervasive, or here to win, or that's pervasive throughout, from top to bottom of our athletic program. Our coaches, and they could be pissed off with me and stop speaking to me like they always do. I really don't care. Our coaches go in with the mentality of, well, we're going to see what we can do, but I want to get some people in the game because it's a non-conference game, and we'll be ready for SWAC. Well, when you go play McNeese or Southeastern or even a South Alabama school, you have to go play to win.
Yeah.
Because it helps build your athletic program. It helps build your whatever program it is, whether it's football, baseball, softball, whatever it is. It helps build that program. It helps you recruit. Yeah, you talk about, we can't recruit. You can't recruit a certain level player because you're going to get your ass whooped 18-3. because you don't. No player wants to come and play if you're not going to put forth max effort to win bigger games. And we see that throughout our athletic department. And I just think that it's a mentality that we need to get out of, or we need to take a look at, because it's not just, like I said, it's not just one sport. It's throughout the other sports.
And I'm in agreement with you, because you and I've had that conversation. You brought that to this platform, and you know, it was a conversation that I had early this week in terms of putting spotlight behind the scenes spotlight and, you know, promoting your sports. But would you agree with me if I were to say that our fan bases, particularly, let's just use the SWAC, have only particular sports where they focus in, and I would say probably about 90% of the other sports they don't care about?
No, I wouldn't say that. What other school, I mean, in particular HBCU, but what other school, period, outside of like LSU or somewhere, can get crowds for a midweek baseball game if they play in the right opponent?
I'm not saying in terms of the crowd. I'm talking about even just paying attention to who this next opponent is, what's going on within that program. I'm not saying coming out packing the stadium and just being in attendance, but just overall interest.
I think you have a healthy interest among the fan base. And I mean, there are going to be some sports that America's not interested in.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why they're, you know, shameful. I mean, not shameful, but it just is what it is, that they're non-revenue sports or they're Olympic sports or whatever. You know, they're sports that are in the Olympics for hundreds of years that nobody attends.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
What's the little sport that they scored in the ice and they used the bruise?
I wasn't going to call out the name.
Talking about curling?
Yeah, curling. Yeah, but curling gets crowds.
No, I just know from Family Guy that Maid has a little broom thing. If y'all know that cutscene, that just popped in my head when you said it.
He referenced Family Guy.
Curling gets crowds, but I mean, there are going to be certain things that just people are going to be interested in or not interested in. But there's an interest in it when you're winning.
Yeah. Nature draws people to it. It goes back to what you say, because for me, I think it gets old when you constantly only give effort for a conference team. So I'm constantly seeing the same teams that you beating or going against that you're giving full effort, and then the teams that I'm yarning and that I want to get a victory over, not just for bragging rights, but to do something different. It's like, well, damn, did we even try? Or I saw that we tried, but then we pulled back. We didn't give our full effort because, you know, it's cool to beat the SWAC schools. Cool. You know, I've been seeing that my whole life. But, you know, then when you go out and you play in a school that's not in the SWAC, you like, let's bring one home. Let's bring one back.
Yeah, I mean, it's necessary to beat the SWAC schools. That's how you win championships. But the fact is, you shouldn't be getting blown out in midweek games versus McNeese or Nichols or schools like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. Those are the things, whether it be basketball, baseball, softball, track, whatever it is, our fans want your full effort. The people support. You could talk about, I know I can hear them now. Well, they need to donate. No, you need to win some damn games.
You made Mike laugh on that. That was funny, Mike.
That's the truth.
It is
like
true.
It always falls back where they need to do this. No, you need to win some damn games because that's what you were hired for.
Why is that always our first tool, our first defense when anybody is any?
It's a defense mechanism.
Okay.
It's a defense mechanism, and I'll say I've been guilty of it too, but I'm not guilty of it anymore, and I'm not falling for the okie doke. It's a defense mechanism, and they're full of it. What coach doesn't come to win games? That's what you're hired for, to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not winning games, then you need to go. If you can only win, if you can't beat the schools that are your peer schools on a regular basis, then you need to go. You know what I'm saying? If you coaching on a level where you can only, and then you can only be, and I'm not just talking about baseball. So I don't want everybody to think I'm talking across the board in our athletic program. Mediocrity has become the rule, and it's just it's frustrating and it's time out. Mediocrity, we become too accepting of. Oh, we just gonna go out and we gonna put out what it looks like. What it looks like to people who are on, well, not even the people on the outside, the people on the inside. What it looks like is we're scared to go play to win, to go out and win and put our best effort up against, in particular, predominantly white institutions. That's what it looks like.
You say what would create a fear or a scary mindset like that?
Because it's no pressure on them to win those games.
There you go. I only want to beat Jackson State and Grambling and FAMU and, those schools, right?
Yeah, well, those are the rivals. And that's at a lot of schools. To me, that's a loser mentality.
Yeah. You're keeping yourself in the bubble. And then what they going to say?
It's a loser mentality. And I take a special exception to that at Southern, because when I see that kind of stuff and I see that kind of stuff coming from Southern, that makes me understand that we have a bunch of people around who really don't understand the tradition and the power of Southern. There's a reason that even when we go play Southeastern or Nichols or somebody or McNeese, that these schools get up for us. They get up to play Southern. And I don't get what people with coaches, and I don't get what they don't understand about that. Like, that shouldn't that be obvious to you? That these schools get up. Those schools don't take mercy on us.
No.
When we pull our starters, they don't pull their starters. But I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I know it's frustrating.
I'm right there in the same boat. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back and continue the conversation. All right, stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Cricket Specialty Foods has you covered for March. Spring break.
The Jaguar Journal. He's Reggie Flood. I'm Perry White.
Yes, sir.
I used to like that Luda right there. Shout out to everybody on YouTube listening to us, everybody out there in Radio Land listening to us live on Talk 107.3, and everybody on the YouTube channel that's out there listening to us. Good morning to Kevin Walker. SWAC and the Fool is tuned in with us this morning. Jeremy Robinson and many, many more. They say you speaking the truth, Flood. That's what they saying in the comment section. You speaking the truth.
Yeah, I try to always do that. What's up, Kev? What's up, SWAC? What's up, Jeremy? What's going on? Good to have y'all with us.
My boy Perry White said, "What's up with it, Flood?" But man, I'm with you on that conversation. I think that conversation I was going to say ought to be had more. Took it another direction, but it should be had more because it is a real conversation. Because I hear it a lot of times from fans, even when we play those games. Well, wait till we get to the SWAC, or when we get to the SWAC, we'll be fine. But I love competitive nature against whoever we play. That builds the brand of your program. It builds the strength of the brand of the conference. And if you, I guess, I don't know if a lot of people give a care about the respect or what comes with that, but I do. Winning is winning. And, of course, my whole life, I've known what it's like to compete against conference opponents. I grew up in the SWAC. I'm still in the SWAC, HBCU realm. But I also like when we get out of that HBCU realm because although I love HBCUs near and dear to my heart, I think one of the issues is because we only compete so hard against each other. That's why we constantly, no matter where we go and we compete against anybody, the first thing they do is make sure they put us right back in that bubble to say they're the best in HBCU. Would you agree or disagree? Okay.
We do that with everything. And that's not just athletic. Like, even though our bands are some of the best bands in the country, we still say, oh, they're the best HBCU. No, they're the best bands in the country. The SWAC is to the SEC. The SWAC is to bands what SEC is to football.
It is.
We put ourselves in that bubble. We're accepting of that.
We're at the top, Mike. All right, let's get ready to take a break. We're at the top of the hour. We're going to come back. I got something for y'all. SWAC Basketball. Are y'all ready? I hope you are. Chris, where you at? This one just for you, baby. This is called the Chris segment. Now, every time when I talk basketball, because I got some stats for you, Chris, all right? So me and my man Reggie Flood, we'll be right back, all right? Y'all stay tuned.
Ducks Unlimited.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South, family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here.
All right now. Come on, Flood. It ain't. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. He's Reggie Flood. Got to get y'all going this morning. Did he show out on that one last night, Flood?
music is music and you like the music,
Yeah.
he got to pull it. Can't even say he got to pull it together, man. He just, to me, it's beyond music. To me, like, dude, you gotta, you like I say, you watching somebody self-destruct, and I guess I'm at a stage in my life where like that's not entertaining to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just kind of watching somebody fall apart, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, and I guess, like I said, on the outside looking in, I can see the humor. I can see why people laugh at tragedy. That's just kind of what it is. That they always have. You could go back for time and ages, and people have laughed at tragedy. But it's just like, to me, just watching a train wreck. That's all it was to me. Because you could just see dudes. You could see it
just deteriorating.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into some. I'm not gonna laugh because I'm trying not to laugh, but I'm telling you, when I saw that.
But I get what people laugh. I mean, it's funny. I mean,
I only laughed because of the picture when I saw his legs straight up in the air and his face was in that big guy's chest, and that big guy had
the picture is hilarious, and I mean, the stumbling drunk guy is always funny. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's not, I have no issue or no fault with people laughing at it. It just for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's different because you kind of looking at to watch somebody fall apart. But I get why people are laughing. I have no issue with that.
It's old school what my mom used to say. They not laughing with you. They laughing at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So at this one, we laughing at him and not with him because I hope he gets himself together and cleaned up and figure it out, man. Especially you hate to see, especially at that age, somebody declining. And the worst part is when it's in your face for something you paid for the entertainment of something that you like from that person. And this is how you choose to show up. This is how you choose to treat the fan that took the time out to come show some love to you. Yeah. Let's jump into some SWAC basketball. Of course, we'll start on the women's side. And Southern took on Bethune-Cookman and went over to Florida last week, taking on Bethune-Cookman on Saturday and Florida A&M on Monday. And Saturday, let's jump right into it for Southern versus Bethune-Cookman, the Southern University women's basketball. In my head, I just want to call them the Lady Jaguar basketball team. I have to. Yeah, I got to fight it every time because I yell it out real quick. But the Southern University women's basketball team came out victorious, 58-40 over Bethune-Cookman women's basketball, 58-40. Good victory for Southern University women's basketball, 18-point victory in this ball game. Chris, where you at? They shot all right for once, but I get to where they shot all right because this was in the free throw category. 22 of 45 in this ball game, shooting 48%, 6 of 9 from the three-point line, shooting 66%. Chris, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, shooting 88%. 8 of 9, Chris. They getting better. They getting better. It was only 9 free throws, but they only missed 1. That's free. They got it. All right, for Bethune-Cookman was not a good day shooting. You want to hear these stats? 12 of 49 for 24%. 12 of 49. That is a horrible day of shooting. When you shoot 12 of 49, you're supposed to get blew out by more than 18 when you shoot that type of day. 5 of 14 from the three-point line, shooting 35%, and 11 of 24 from the free throw line for Bethune-Cookman women's basketball, shooting 45%. And Southern University women's getting the victory. Other games on Saturday, Grambling State women getting the victory over FAMU. Prairie View, Coach Sandy Pugh getting a 10-point victory over Alcorn, 98-88. Jackson State and Coach Tamika Reed kept things rolling, like Flood say. That train kept on going. 66-43 over Texas Southern. Alabama A&M and Alabama State, the Magic City Classic, but not in the Magic City, but on the hardwood, 69-57 Alabama State. And Pine Bluffs, 95-60 over Mississippi Valley State. That was Saturday on the women's side. Then we jump over to Monday. Of course, Southern women going over to Tallahassee, and they fall short in this one, 57-50 against FAMU. FAMU, a team that has been struggling on the women's side, so this was a much-needed victory. But things completely flipped, Chris, if you're listening, in terms of the shooting percentage in this one. I don't know what happened, but listen, Southern University women's basketball shot 17 of 56 for 30%, 8 of 21 from the three-point line, shooting 38%,
and 8 of 18 from the free throw line, shooting 44%. On the other side, it wasn't that much better for FAMU women, shooting 19 of 50 for 38%, 5 of 14 from the three-point line, shooting 35%, and 14 of 23 from the free throw line, shooting 60%. The Jags fall short as Southern University women lose by 7. FAMU getting a victory, 57-50. Other scores from Monday: Grambling women getting a victory against Bethune-Cookman, 59-52. Jackson State getting this revenge win against Prairie View. Of course, Prairie View women's basketball and Sandy Pugh is the only team this year so far to get a victory in conference play over Jackson State. And on the second time around, Coach Tamika Reed and Jackson State got revenge, 90-65 in that game. And Alcorn State jumping back on Texas Southern on the women's side, 72-66. And then Thursday night, we're going to keep it going. Normally you get 2 games. Today you get 3 games out of me. Southern University and Alabama State on the women's side. Southern women getting back on track, getting a victory, 75-63. In this ball game, Southern University women shot 30 of 55 for 54%, 1 of 6 from the three-point line for only 16%. Tough there. And 14 of 25 from the free throw line, shooting 58%. And on the other side for the Hornets of Alabama State women's basketball, 25 of 57, shooting 43%. 3 of 15 from the three-point line, shooting 20%, and 10 of 14 from the free throw line, shooting for 71%. Southern University women's basketball getting the victory. Other scores around the SWAC on Thursday: Alabama A&M women getting the victory over Grambling, 55-50. Jackson State women kept it rolling on the road against Pine Bluff, 56-42. And Alcorn State women getting the victory on the road against Mississippi Valley, 69-58. And, of course, today ends the regular season of SWAC basketball, both men and women, and games around the conference today. Southern University at home tonight. Today at 3 o'clock, it's the tip-off against Alabama A&M on the women's side. Should be a good game. Texas Southern taking on Prairie View. FAMU, Bethune-Cookman. Alcorn State versus UAPB. Alabama State versus Grambling. Jackson State versus Mississippi Valley State. Those games will all be played on the women's side today. And when we talk about the women's standing, of course, Jackson State and Coach Tamika Reed have already wrapped up their regular season conference champion. They finished the season 16-1 during the regular season, 19-8 overall. Pretty impressive what Coach Tamika Reed is constantly doing year in and year out up there at Jackson State. Right behind her is Alabama State at 12-5. Good victory for Southern women on Thursday against Alabama State, who is second place, but they're tied with the team that they'll be playing today. The Bulldogs of Alabama A&M on the women's side. Both Bama State and A&M are both tied for second place, 4 games out of first place at 12-5. Behind them, Coach Sandy Pugh in Prairie View. She finally seems to have them in the right position at third place, tied with Southern at 11-6. Bethune-Cookman and UAPB both right there behind Prairie View and Southern at 9-8. And then the teams below 500, of course, Alcorn and Grambling, 8-9, FAMU 4-13, Texas Southern 2-15, and then Mississippi Valley still winless on the season on the women's side at 0-17. Flood.
Yeah. Things are about to heat up, about to get. I mean, hey, this is what they play for, right?
Yeah, this is what you come for.
So, this is gonna be good. Hopefully Southern can pull it together. It is not a lot of indication that they are going to be contenders for the SWAC, for the actual tournament title, but you never know. Teams get hot at this point. They haven't shot free throws well. They haven't really shot the ball well, with the exception of one, that game against Alabama State where they got hot. So, maybe they get hot in the tournament and go on a run. I'll be honest with you. I hope they don't.
Now, why would you say something like that?
For the conference sake, I hope that they don't. Because Jackson State is the best opportunity for the conference to win, to actually win games in the NCAA tournament. I want to put our best foot forward.
If I'm hot right now, I can go put my best foot forward somewhere good, Flood.
You ain't going to put your best. You're going to win the tournament and you're going to lose that. No.
Oh, we going back to that mentality we talked about?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll win.
Exactly.
It's been a great season, lady.
At least we made it. At we got there.
You can't have a night like what they did last week against FAMU, where you shot 17 of 56 for 30% from the field, 8 of 21 from the three-point line, shooting 38%, and 8 of 18 from the free throw line, shooting 44%.
You can't have nights like those when you're getting ready to go into the tournament.
No, and the thing is, like, of course, I want Southern to win, but I think as a conference, we putting our best foot forward as a conference is essential, and putting our best teams out there. And it's obvious that Jackson State is the best team on the women's side in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're the best team, I want to see them have the opportunity to go out. And I mean, there is not a question. They are head and shoulders the best team in the conference.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders, no doubt. So put your best foot forward. Southern or whoever gets hot at the tournament and goes and wins 3 or 4 games in a row and pulls off an upset, that doesn't do anything for Southern, and it doesn't do anything. I mean, it'll bring in some extra dollars, I guess, going to the NCAA tournament. But then we go to the NCAA tournament and go get our brains beat out, and because we won't compete or don't feel like we can compete, then what real good has it done? So I would hope for the best.
Let's go, Jaguars. I ain't listening to Flood. Let's go win that tournament, ladies, but we got to start today. Let's get past A&M at that second place spot. Seeding matters, so let's see if we can get it done. The game tip-off today, Southern University women versus Alabama A&M, 3 o'clock, F.G. Clark Activity Center over on the Bluff. All right? We'll come back. We'll talk about the men's side of things and how things are going as we wrap up SWAC regular season today, all right? So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families. Care South is now providing
Set for Rusty Bump.
I remember when it was up. Remember the day we fell in love. I still dream the day we did. There'll be a day I'll truly miss. 'Cause now you're gone, girl, don't you speak just a little bit, baby, please. I don't.
All right, it's Jaguar Journal. Had to let y'all get a little jam right quick. Reggie Flood, I'm Perry White. Did he rock this one last night, Flood?
Yeah, he did all of his.
Okay, he rocked that one. That's one of my favorite ones right there. And that work out. I like that one. Oh yeah. So he did better than some others, huh?
He was on point. Tucker came in, like I said, everybody came in and did a really nice show. Everybody was on point.
I'm gonna lay off the exception. I'm gonna leave him alone this morning. I'm probably sure he's somewhere recovering. All right, SWAC men's basketball. Let's jump into it. Regular season ends today, and the Jaguars, of course, like I said before, were on the road last week against the Florida schools. And this one, I think, caught us. I may not have caught you off guard, Flood. Caught me off guard. I don't know where you went with it right now, and I'm pretty sure once I give this one right here, you probably gonna be like, well, yeah, there you go. The Jags fall short by 7 to Bethune-Cookman on the road, 60-53. I'm just going to blame it on a long trip. That's all. That's my excuse. They say don't have excuse. I got an excuse. It's a long way to Daytona Beach from Baton Rouge. No excuses, though. The Jaguars in this ball game. Chris, you ready? I know you are. You got the radio turned up. You always listening. 18 of 54, shooting 33% from the field. 5 of 21 from the three-point line, shooting 23%. And 12 of 19 from the free throw line, shooting 63% on the other side for Bethune-Cookman. Oh, man, I don't even know how you... 17 of 51, shooting 33%. 9 of 26 from the three-point line, shooting 34%. And 17 of 26 from the free throw line, shooting 65%. This was a sloppy game, Flood. I mean, I just got to say that at least. When I look at these stats, that was just an overall sloppy game. 60-53, Bethune-Cookman gets the victory. Other scores around the SWAC last Saturday. Grambling State getting the victory, 69-55 against Florida A&M. Prairie View getting a big victory over Alcorn. How about that? 75-71 at Alcorn. Woo, SWAC and the fool. I know you hear that one. Jackson State, 71. Texas Southern, 69. Mississippi Valley State, 78. UAPB, 74. Oh, that one got me right there. And Alabama A&M, 55 against Alabama State. 50. Valley, you got me right there. That Valley and Prairie View and Bethune, I guess it was just upset city that day. All right, then Monday, the Jaguars go over to Tallahassee. Now, this one, if you watched it, it was all over social media the way that this game ended. But I'll get there. The Jags win on the last-second shot. He sent that guy sliding into home plate, Flood. I'm talking about. And you know the FAMU defender, I found out he's from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Didn't go to Pine Bluff High, though. He's no zebra. Right? We don't be sliding like that. He went to Washington Chapel across town, so I can see how that happened. That's just, I can see how that happened, all right? The Jags getting the last-second victory, 60-58 over Florida A&M. Man, what a finish it was. And if you haven't seen it, you got to go watch the video on how it ended. The Jaguars in this ball game shooting 23 of 55, shooting 41%. 3 of 18 from the three-point line, shooting 16%. 11 of 19 from the free throw line, shooting 57% on the other side for the Rattlers of FAMU. 23 of 61, shooting 37% from the field. 8 of 25 from the three-point line, shooting 32%. 4 of 8 from the free throw line, shooting 50%. The Jaguars get the victory, 60-58. Other scores around the SWAC on Monday. Grambling continued its winning ways, beating Bethune-Cookman 66-54. The Tigers of Jackson State 61, Prairie View 57. Alcorn State jumped back on track 89-81 against Texas Southern. And, of course, Thursday night, as we get ready to wrap things up, Southern hosted Alabama State here in Baton Rouge. and they were able to get a victory 66-52. The Jags do well at home. It's on the road where they struggle, but we'll get more into that as Southern got a victory 66-52, shooting 23 of 53 from the field for 43%. 5 of 19 from the three-point line, shooting 26%, 15 of 24 from free throw line, shooting 62% on the other side for the Hornets of Alabama State. 18 of 52 shooting from the field that night for 34%, 7 of 25 from the three-point line, shooting 28%, and 9 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting 56%. Other scores on Thursday, Alcorn State 70, Mississippi Valley 60, Grambling 60, Alabama A&M 48. Jackson State goes on the road, gets a victory 67-63 over the Golden Lions of UAPB. And, of course, today, games around the conference, you will have Southern hosting Alabama A&M. That tip-off at 5:30. Texas Southern and Prairie View should be a good one as always. FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. If you like Florida basketball, Alcorn State and Pine Bluff, I think that game may be better than many may think. Alcorn has to go on the road up to Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff can be a tough place in basketball to play from time to time. Alabama State and Grambling, and then as well as Jackson State and Mississippi Valley today as we round out the end of regular season. Then we go to the SWAC standings. Alcorn State and Grambling both tied in that first place spot at 14-3 overall. In conference play, Alcorn State's overall record 17-12. Grambling's overall record 21-8. Behind them in second place, tied with Jackson State, is Southern at 11-6. Both Southern and Jackson State 3 games out of first place. So it's going to come down to Alcorn, Grambling, and then one of those teams will be the 1 and 2 seed, and then you'll fall suit between Southern and Jackson behind there, depending on how things go today. Southern's opponent today, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, are right there behind them in that third place spot at 9-8. And then after that, it kind of gets pretty bad. The way the SWAC has jumbled itself up, you got Alcorn, Grambling, Southern, Jackson, and A&M seem to be those teams. And then behind them, Prairie View at 8-9, Texas Southern 7-10. Texas Southern did try to get back on track. I will give them that. It looked like there was no hope for them as conference season started. Bethune-Cookman at 7-10. Alabama State and UAPB both 6-11. UAPB went backwards. At one time, they were in the thick of things in the hunt, but they went backwards. FAMU right there at 5-12, and Mississippi Valley State able to reel off 4 victories so far in conference play at 4-13. Flood.
Yeah. They got a couple of good victories. Had the number 1 play on Sports Center, on Sports Center plays of the day and all of that good stuff. But, you know, they need to play better. They need to get some victories. And, you know, we know this team is capable of playing at a high level. It's just will they be able to do it at come tournament time? They need to get a victory so they can proceed in the tournament to solidify their place, man, and you know, and then get to the tournament and see what they can do. Grambling, ironically, if I remember correctly, Grambling is the only program in the SWAC that has never been to an NCAA tournament. They never won. They've never been to an NCAA tournament, the men's program. So they won 21 games. They're predicted, you know, all the predictions and projections that you look at for the NCAA tournament are projecting them to go because they you know, they are the number 1 team in SWAC. They've had success out of conference.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so they have actually a pretty good projection that they actually might not be in the play-in game if the SWAC wouldn't be in the play-in game if Grambling happens to win the tournament.
Grambling 10-1 at home, 9-6 on the road. They're one of the few SWAC teams, outside of Alcorn, who's 500 on the road at 9-9. Grambling is the only team with a winning record on the road in this conference.
Yeah, and they have some pretty good out-of-conference wins. Grambling and Alcorn both have some good out-of-conference wins. So,
Grambling having an 83-74 victory over Colorado, 82-57 over North Texas Dallas. And so, 75-55 over University Texas San Antonio, 73-49 victory over Dartmouth, just to name a few, a 72-39 blowout victory over Incarnate Word, a 64-62 victory over Vanderbilt.
Because of being the best team in the conference and go and get out of conference wins. So, but you know that Southern is capable of playing at a high level. when they're on, but when they're not, they pretty much suck. So this tournament could be a lot of things. Like I said, this is another situation where I hope that the team that has shown themselves to be the best team over the long haul actually gets the bid to the tournament, because I just think it's better for the conference.
Yeah.
Now I used to feel like, okay, if you get hot in the tournament, you make a run to the NCAA, but I don't think that really benefits the conference in the long run. I really don't.
When you look at these teams between Alcorn and Grambling, both tied at first place at 14-3, both have overall winning records. Alcorn 17-12, Grambling 21-8. Regardless of how they do in the SWAC tournament, with Southern and Jackson State both behind them, do you see multiple teams, maybe one or two teams, perhaps can get into the NIT?
No.
Okay.
You're gonna have one team go to the NCAA, one team go to the NIT. It's what it is.
Oh, gotcha.
Time for us to take a break. Make sure you stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Dumpsters, they all look the same, and trash all smells the same.
West End.
Yeah, boy. I get back to my old man music right there. That's my dad music. My dad used to listen to.
Hey, I jammed to this sometime in the car with the windows down. Listen,
Yeah,
dreads
man.
flowing all in the wind.
Yeah. My pop be out there two-stepping. See, this music right here. This music right here.
Oh, that one
Hey,
got
man.
you? Oh, go ahead.
Before we go any further, man, I want to recognize and give his proper due, give him his flowers to Colonel Paris Davis, man. He's one of the first black officers to lead the Special Forces team in combat. He received the Medal of Honor, the highest military honor you can receive in this country. He received the Medal of Honor on Friday, and the thing about it, and the reason I'm recognizing him, not just because he received that honor, which is a great honor himself. He's 83 years old. He lives in Virginia, but he's also a Southern alum. And during the Vietnam War, he majored in political science at Southern, was part of the ROTC program. During the Vietnam War, he was a leader of the Special Forces, like I said, one of the first black men to lead Special Forces into combat. Saved lives, went in and saved lives, saved his men, was a hero. Should have been awarded the Medal of Honor years ago, but somehow his paperwork kept getting lost. But he was finally it's finally processed that he was finally awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military honor you can get in this country. Colonel Paris Davis, he's 83 years old, so I just wanted to recognize him as a Southern alum and give him his proper due. He was the captain and commander with the 5th Special Forces Group, engaged in nearly continuous combat during a pre-dawn raid on a North Vietnamese army camp in the village of Bong Sung in the Binh Dinh province. He engaged in hand-to-hand combat with North Vietnamese, calling for precision artillery fire and thwarted the capture of 3 American soldiers, all while suffering wounds from gunshots and grenade fragments. He used his pinky finger to fire his rifle with his hand after his hand was shattered by an enemy grenade.
That's a bad brother.
He says he repeatedly sprinted into an open rice paddy to rescue members of his team. According to the Army Times, his entire team survived.
And they lost his paperwork all these years?
Lost his paperwork all of these years. Matter of fact, they said they lost the paperwork twice.
Come on, man. That right there, what you just said. Come on, they gave Forrest Gump the Medal of Honor.
Yeah, he got a Medal of Honor, man. At 83 years old, long overdue.
Long overdue.
And but he's a Southern alum, man. So I just wanted to give Colonel Davis Paris Davis his props and give him his flowers and recognize him. Salute to the Colonel.
No doubt. I'm a political science major myself. Since we're doing that, then I give a shout out to the Zebras, baby. We're going to the semifinals. We almost in state flood. You know, I keep up with my Zebras. I'm a proud alum of the Pine Bluff High School Zebras. They got a victory 55-43 in the 5A state quarterfinal last night. So they headed to the semifinals today, man. So shout out to them Zebras, man. One of the best teams out there. All right. So I just had to get
So let me get this straight.
What's up?
I recognize a war hero as Southern alum. You come behind me and shout out the Pine Bluff Zebras for going to the state basketball championship.
They near and dear to my heart. I mean, you shout out. I didn't know we had to follow it up with another war hero, you know. But
No, I'm just saying. I just want to put it in perspective.
What you saying?
I recognize a Southern alum on the Jaguar Journal for receiving the highest military honor that this country gives.
Yeah.
And you follow it up with a shout out because the Pine Bluff Zebras going to the state championship. Not even the championship. They going to the semifinals.
topic now.
I'm not saying a word. I'm just gonna let that marinate amongst the people.
Marinate. Now I'm letting the people know about what they didn't know. So
I'm gonna let that marinate amongst the people.
Shout out to them Z's, baby. We rolling on. We headed to the semifinals, and shout out to my man getting the Medal of Honor. I mean, that is big, though. I mean, this the fact of that war story that you gave. That is a true war story, and just a hero. That almost sounds like a movie should be made behind that.
They probably already have. They probably just didn't put his name in it because they probably didn't want to pay him. But yeah, he is Colonel Paris Davis, and he's 83 years old now. He lives in Virginia. Still, so man, congratulations to him, and I would guess that would be a proud moment for he and his family as he's awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest medal, long overdue, long overdue, but he finally is getting his just due. So
I didn't want you to give him. I wasn't gonna give no more shout outs. I ain't gonna do. That is a tremendous honor, though, man. Shout out to him. I saw the picture. I read the article and the story, and that is an amazing story. I just hate sometimes it takes so long, and thank God he's still alive to be able to even be there to be recognized, to see it for himself alive and not after the fact. So, the Vietnam War was a long time ago. It's been a minute to say that they're just now getting around to it. That's the type of stuff. I don't know how you allow things like that to just go swept or get lost in the sauce, as they say, with that story that you just gave, man. That sounds like a script right out of a movie. If you wasn't there to Survivor to tell you that, you wouldn't even believe that.
Yeah, no, you can't write stuff like that.
No, you wouldn't even believe that. You'll say that's fresh out of Hollywood, but to know that is a living legend. That is amazing, and I'm thoroughly happy for him, and the fact that he was still able to be here amongst the living, to be able to go there and get that excitement, to understand that you're being honored for being a brave soldier. So salute to him, and thank you for all that you did to serve this country and all the lives that you saved that day during that period, in terms of those guys that you consider to call your brothers, as you guys went into war together, man. So. Where do I go from here, Flood? Once you bring that up, what direction do I go? Okay.
Talking about basketball coming up, and football. We just go back to where we were going.
Yeah, shout out to them Pine Bluff High Zebras, man. I get excited anytime them Zebras do something, man, because everybody laughed. They be like, the Zebras. Yeah, the Zebras, man. They actually got two young men from Pine Bluff that Southern offered one. He's a 4-star defensive lineman, and then they got a wide receiver that I just found out LSU offered him, Courtney Crutchfield. That's pretty good basketball and football player. So maybe we can get some guys down here in Baton Rouge. I know LSU was on them tough. I'm trying to get Southern to fool with them as well. But we always know I try to get some talent out that area, because it is some talent in that area. I try to give them an outlet. Come on down here to Baton Rouge and enjoy some good food and some good people. So. But other than that, football, in terms of spring, is about to start, Flood. And as we get ready to go into spring football with Coach Eric Dooley in his second season, give me your biggest storyline that you could circle when you look at positions of this team that stand out to you.
Well, it's quarterback, offensive and defensive line. Not necessarily in that order, but a quarterback, of course, is the marquee position. But offensive and defensive line, we have a lot to replace on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be the key to whether we're successful as a team.
Does this – I don't want to write something, but does this seem like this could be one of those struggle rebuild years when you talk about something so critical of those positions, when you talk about line play and particularly quarterback play? Southern's O-line was at least solid enough last year to where you had some returning guys. But now when you talk about overhaul O-line in the trenches, along with quarterback play with, at this point, really nobody
that has had significant snaps except Noah Baldwin that transferred from Grambling. And does this seem like a rebuild, maybe a struggle year?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got some guys who are reportedly coming off of injury at the red shirt last year. You know, we have some good guys, prospects. I mean, we're basically at the same point we were last year in terms of quarterback position. We got new guys. That's why I don't really look at the I mean, it's important because the person who runs your offense is important. The quarterback is, but I mean, I think we might be in a better position in some cases.
Okay.
From the quarterback position, at least from a talent standpoint.
Yeah.
But the question is definitely going to be offensive and defensive line. We hit the JUCOs really hard, hit the portal really hard, trying to get offensive linemen, you know, trying to get defensive linemen. We'll just have to see how it works out in the spring, and then what's coming in for the fall, for the summer. We really won't have a true idea of what this team looks like until next fall.
What do you think about that revolving door with this transfer portal, getting guys from the JUCO and getting guys transferred in from other programs, to where I guess in the past we've actually, whether we saw it or not, I saw it and you saw it along, you know, is this program was under Odoms and you started to see 4-year guys develop from freshman to senior. But it seems like the world that we live in and what we're starting to see is a revolving door of not having guys long. Just as soon as you get familiar with them, the chunk and the deuces and they out, and it's the next group. For you, what is that revolving door? Can success be built long-term with that type of door?
I think that's part of it, but I think you have to mix it up. I think you have to portal, but I think we have to do a better job of recruiting high school kids and getting 3- and 4-year guys. And I know what coaches are afraid of. They're afraid, hey, I'm going to get these guys in here, develop them, and then they're going to hit the portal and go somewhere else too.
Oh, man.
But I think that you have to find a balance, and I think coaches are still trying to do that. A lot of coaches are still trying to find that balance between recruiting, getting players out of the portal, recruiting junior colleges, and recruiting high school players. We got to take a break right quick. We'll be right back. It's the Jaguar Journal.
What did you do when you needed new brakes?
Jaguar Journal. Everybody's Reggie Flood. That's music right there, young buck. You ain't used to nobody talking to you like that these days. That's music right there, young man. They got Mike laughing. Mike think I'm talking to him too. That's music, young man. Oh, man, we're getting ready to wrap things up as we're on the back end of the Jaguar Journal this morning. Shout out to everybody on YouTube following us on our digital platform, showing us some love on there. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're listening, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can go back and catch any shows. I know we bright and early, and that's one of the beautiful things about YouTube. We can do it live, then it can be able to archive itself. Then you can go back and listen to it. I know sometimes people get up by the time they start listening. It's 8:30. They like, well, did y'all talk about baseball already? Yeah, we did that about an hour and 30 minutes ago. All right. So, if you want to go back and listen to it, that's the beauty of the archiving it with a digital platform. Plus, you be able to see my face. You get able to see Uncle Flood's face. He over there looking like Lovey on that picture that Mike done put you up there. He got
to y'all, Lovey be trying to Lovey was looking like me.
And hit the like button, subscribe. Keep up with us on the Jaguar Journal. The Jaguar Journal, just search that on YouTube. Anybody out there, we'd just like for you to subscribe and keep up with us and support us. Share it. Let people know if they want to hear it. A lot of times, like I said, we're just early in the morning, which understandable. If it would be hard for me to get up on a Saturday morning and listen from 7 to 9 if I did not have to come do this show Saturday at 7 to 9. But I would always probably go back and listen to it. So thank everybody for that. Do get up and listen. We appreciate you for your support, as well as follow the Jaguar Journal on Facebook. Go like that page and keep up with it. You can keep up with a lot of SWAC, MEAC, HBCU sports, more particular Southern. Flood and I, periodically, we'll jump on there and do some lives and maybe stir up a hornet's nest or something or two, or just give you the real. Really, that's all we do. We just give you the real. Whether you like it or not, it's real. Ain't that right, Flood?
Yeah. We're going to do that. We're going to keep it 100. Even sometimes when they don't like it, we're going to always keep it 100. So
keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
So, follow us on there. And thank everybody that's listening on Talk 107.3 anywhere. Some people may just listen, may not even be Southern fans. It may just be something on the radio. I know we're a little bit different compared to what's typically on this station, especially when it comes to some music, right? Hey, we're going to give you some flavor and some spice bright and early in the morning, a little culture, all right? So thank you guys for listening, whether you like what we're saying or not. We appreciate you for just tuning in and turning the radio on and jumping in with us. My boy Mike behind the board, of course. Mike does a phenomenal job working with us with the digital platform as well as on the radio. Mike, we always appreciative of you. I always ask him, Flood, man, do we bore you in the morning? Because I know you may not be into the SWAC and the MEAC and the HBCU stuff, but he said, man, this is his most entertaining show. So I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. Getting up bright and early with Cousin Perry and Uncle Flood.
I can imagine that it is pretty entertaining compared to some of the other stuff he has to listen to. So,
ain't that right? What are you listening to typically on the day when it ain't Cousin Perry and Uncle Flood?
Don't answer that.
There you go.
Don't answer that, Mike.
Other than
he say don't answer it.
Don't answer that, Mike.
I mean, other than the shows that I have to host, I really don't listen to stuff. I literally just listen to music all day. Y'all see my playlist, and you guys told me to stop playing my playlist, so
From early, he was going to play extra this morning. When I heard that, I said, "No, I got it, bro. I'll take it from here. We not."
I mean, for Mike Usher's old school.
Usher my school, but I mean, it's not. He's not that old. Some stuff I consider old school, but I mean, I grew up with '90s rap, so that's just whatever for me.
Usher's, Usher to Mike is that's lifetime music right there.
Exactly.
If we just wasn't for the Jaguar this morning, he hit us with some Nelly last week, wasn't he? Yeah, so
I mean, I do remember one of Perry's favorite song is Hot in Here, so I gotta play Nelly every now. That you did. The one time you guys were off the air calling over the phone, he was like, "Look, I like the song. That's one of my favorite Nelly songs." I'm like, "Okay, I'll play it every now and then."
Yeah,
but you gotta switch around. You can't just play one Nelly song. You gotta play most of the Nelly songs.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was like my favorite Nelly song 25 years ago, 20 years ago.
P. White going, he was just starting to grow the dreads, going hard, listening to that Nelly, boy. Pants sagging with a white T-shirt on.
Nelly was before that. It was more tall T, dog tag, headband on, around with Lil Wayne. This is like 06, 07 when the dreads started to come on down. Yeah, the tall T, the shirt that's a 3X. I have no business with a 2X, 3X shirt with some Coogee jeans. I had a dog tag with a big old belt buckle, and I had the headband. That's an era right there for y'all that don't know. That was an era, all right? A Nietzsche, all right? Rockaware, all right? Echo, that was, Fat Form.
Passion tragedy.
Big was the best. Now it's little. They like little stuff, all right? I like just fit now, but back then it was about the big and the baggy, and that was my era, big and baggy, You had G Unit with the big and baggy. You had Lil Wayne and everybody with the big and baggy. So yeah, that's what it was. So that was my era. Nelly, when he first
the time period when every rapper was inspired to start a clothing line.
Entrepreneurship was rolling, man. Now everybody want to start a liquor line. Everybody want to get you inebriated, So,
so you can wear them ugly clothes that they had designed for.
Yeah, man, that Coogee hat, Coogee fit, so sick. See, now I'm going into that Boosie now, all right? Hey, that Coogee was the time to be alive, too. You know about that. The Jabot straps. Man, I thought I was fresh with them Jabot straps. And we used to
Jabot go all the way back to my day. We introduced Jabot.
Did y'all have the Jabot straps, though, is what I'm saying.
We ain't need y'all just the next evolution.
Okay. The Jabot straps was hard during my time, man. The icy white Air Force Ones. You had to get the icy white. Hey, Nelly, stomping them, my Air Force Ones. Hey, that was the whole time to be alive, man. It took me back down memory lane, man. Made me go look on Facebook and go back in the day. That was the beauty of Facebook, the archive, all that bad fashion from back in the day. Back down memory lane.
Mistakes.
I mean, I look at the women from during that time too. I'm like, what? The apple bottoms and all that stuff, the apple bottom jeans, and man, what a time to be alive. You know something. You listen to some music. You was in that era. You just, you was telling them young buck back in my day, we was listening to Rocksteady and Treat Her Like a Lady.
Shoulders seeing some boys to men.
All that baby making music, yeah. Listen, Flood, what are you getting into this weekend, man?
Man, I'm doing little stuff around the house. Man, I might try to check out some hoops this evening. I don't know for sure. Not gonna commit to that, but whatever comes up, I'll be out and about. If the man says the same, I'll be rolling around. What you got up?
Man, I'll be chilling out. I'll go check out some basketball today. It's the last regular season game for Southern, so it's the last opportunity before they head over to the tournament that I'll probably be able to catch them because I probably would not make it to the SWAC tournament. But I'll be out and about. This time of year is beautiful weather. I love the grill. I may throw something on the grill. I got some oysters, man, so I done learn how to shook them things and tidy them up the way that I want. So I may just hang out in the back, man, and just, enjoy myself because this weather, as much as I like to be in the house, I'll be in the house, and it's just like that inner thought, go outside, and I listen to it every time I fall victim. So I like to be outside, so.
I hear you, man.
Power to the people. Southern University women tip off today, 3 o'clock. Me and 5 o'clock. Great day for basketball. Flood, get us up out of here.
At the same time in the same place, because as always, it's the Jaguar Journal.